Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is 2:42, Sunday afternoon. Here I am, Command Central. Hold on a second. Let me try these lights things again. Kind of annoying. Don't go away. Okay. Ooh, much better. Yes, indeed. So anyhow, Doc Frost coming to you from Command Central here in Newmarket, New Hampshire. We just had our first snow. Not much, a little bit, depending on where you are. But it is white. It is cold. The wood stove is going. And I kind of like this time of year. Not with all the conditions that we have going on outside, but it's not bad. I hope that all of you are well. So, can you believe it? Week 7. Holy crap. This semester is flying by. At least it is for me. And right now I'm teaching 5 classes, so which is not my norm. I don't want to be that busy. But it worked out that way, and I have great classes with great students like all of you, so it kind of makes it worth it. So what are we going to talk about this week? I have no idea. I thought I'd ask all of you to tell me what we're going to talk about. Just kidding. I got some idea. A little bit. I mean, I am old and confused, but... So let's get into it. Module 7, probation and parole. 2 great career choices that we have spoken about. Somewhat. And I've given you feedback on to say they're good careers. So the learning objectives this week, by the end of the module, you will be able to, this is what you're going to be able to do, pay attention, explore the past, current, and future of probation and parole system, identify the origins of reasons for processes of parole, how do we get there, propose technologies that can target issues within the current probation and parole system. See, I like the idea of putting chips in people. We do it with pets. Why can't we do it with people? Depending on some of these crime shows that you see, like Blacklist and all of that, boom, they just put it right in there. Little bitty chip, you don't even know what's in there. So you can just track them around. Better than bracelets. A lot harder to remove than cutting a bracelet. But anyhow, it's coming. It's already here. Create a career path investigation in the criminal justice field. This is intro to criminal justice. So one of the main objectives is to sort of like examine if you're here, why are you here? And I know that some of you are, not all that interested in a career in law enforcement, and that's fine. You're taking this class just because. But for those people that are interested in a career in law enforcement, dig right in. Dig right in. Use old people like me that have two careers. 34 years in policing, 17 years in corrections, some of them concurrent. I can talk about either or. I can talk about probation and parole. Ask me. I can tell you something about something. I know that is a wicked big Yeti full of tea. But anyhow, so textbook, chapter 11. You have a library article, too many going back, not enough getting out. Supervision violators, probation supervision, and overcrowding in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So look at that article. And then the website, Probation Officers and Correctional Treatment Specialists. That will give you some idea of the prerequisites, qualifications, yada, 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 as it pertains to probation and parole. So check that out. That is another area for exploration. Overview, again, at times, probation and parole are used interchangeably. That is absolutely correct, but each branch is quite different. Yes, it is. Probation keeps people from being incarcerated. Parole gets people out of incarceration. So one is preventive, one is intervention. Okay? So this keeps you out, probation keeps you out, parole gets you out. It's as simple as that. Although each branch monitors people who have been found guilty of a crime, probation is for individuals who have not gone to jail, while parole is for people who were released from jail early. Now, when we say jail, we're using jail interchangeably. House of correction, jail, prison, interchangeable term. Incarceration. Instead of calling it jail, we could call it incarceration. There are approximately 2 million people residing in jails and the prisons throughout the United States, and almost 5 million people under adult supervision. That's a crap load of people. As I've already mentioned, the United States leads the world in incarceration. We do like to be number one. But this is not something to be proud of. So anyhow, I know when I do these postings, you're like, Doc, all of the stuff that you put in writing in the announcement for this week for Module 7, we've already read it once. We've already seen it once. I understand that. I do. Trying to be thorough. Figure if you read it twice, you'll understand it better. And then, of course, this great Emmy-nominated, just found out, just kidding, but just found out it should be, Emmy-nominated quality video that I share with you each week. So, the last part of this, 7.1, final project submission. Career path investigation. Investigation. Submit your career path investigation. It should be a complete, polished artifact containing all of the critical elements of the final product, including Section 4, Career Revision. It should reflect the incorporation of feedback gained throughout the course, which is code for, guess what? Pretty much all the data that you're going to be submitting here, you've already written about, you've already created. You're just going to need to cut and paste it. That's essentially what it means. Now, as I keep telling you, look at the final project guidelines and rubric. For the final assessment, you will create a career path investigation in which you will answer questions related to each of the branches. You may complete your project as either a Word document or a presentation. We're up to 2 people that are actually doing presentations, PowerPoints. Very excited, very excited. Your investigation will be 4 to 5 pages of approximately 10 to 15 slides. From your investigation into each of the branches, you will be able to reflect on and determine a potential career path within the criminal justice field. So even if you're not interested, even if you're not going to become a probation, parole, corrections, police officer, FBI, CIA, whatever, even if you're not going to really pursue any of that, just pick one as if you were. Just use it as a hypothetical exercise for the rest of the class. So again, it's all here. And you're going to describe the 3 branches of the criminal justice system, identify impacts or historical impacts of law enforcement, courts, and corrections, illustrate how to use emerging technology, apply basic principles of criminal and constitutional law, and differentiate between the roles of practitioners in each of the 3 branches. So just go through and read these, and it gives you an overview for each one, for each and every one. Okay? And more specifically, one of the things that you want to do is you want to look at the rubric. Remember what the good doc has been telling you over the course of this semester. Print out the rubric. Have the rubric right there when you're writing your paper. That way you'll see what you need to do. And it's all listed. Good Lord, look at all the areas here. This is when you look at it, this is going to be a nightmare to grade. Holy crap. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different grading criteria. 17 different grading criteria for this rubric. Holy crap. And you have to do it within 4 to 5 pages. Not a lot of space, not a lot of room. You're not going to have time for wasted words here. So when you look at it, again, just to take a couple, for technology, prison guide, describes the types of technology available to prison guides. We like to use corrections officers. You've seen me write that 100 times. God is sort of degrading, sort of old school. Corrections professionals, corrections staff, corrections officers. All right. So it describes the type of technology available to corrections officers and how they impact his or her ability to prevent visitors from smuggling in contraband. You've already done this. You've already talked about the personal body scanners, the wands, the metal detectors, all of these different technologies that already exist. You've already done this. You already have it. Then it goes technology for probation officers, technology for a court. Selects a court case where the use of technology was a driving factor. You've already done this. You already have it. Career path identifies which career path uses technology that would be the most interesting. You've already got it. Standards, ethical practice, determines which professional and ethical standards should be in place and explains why they should be put in place. We talked about this with the free sandwich from the deli owner as an example. All right? Decision making offers insight into how prisons benefit from having such standards in place. All right? When we talk about ethical and professional practice. All right? So, again, just go through and read these things and just offer a paragraph. Just offer a paragraph on each one of these. And boy, I would really, again, with 17 different variables here, if you could just create a little header and offer a paragraph for each one, or really delineate which one applies to who and what, so that I don't have to go searching through the paper, particularly when there's 17 scoring criteria, that would be awesome. So it talks about ethics, it talks about technology, it talks about communication. So that's the first one actually, is communication and collaboration. Legal search, you've already discussed that. Describes who the police officer would need to collaborate with and why. Pre-sentence report, PSI, you've already talked about that. Probation officers are the ones that write the pre-sentence investigation. Probation officers write those. And it's basically a complete background, a social narrative of the person that is going to be sentenced. Okay, looking at the court case, selects a court case and discusses the impact that case had in reshaping the role of a corrections practitioner. Career path, identifies which career path is the most in line with personal collaboration and communication practices and provides an explanation. These are all the rubrics. That's all I'm talking about here. Like I said, there's a lot of them. And it talks about it with corrections officers, probation officers, police officer. It's all here. And again, if I see any restriction to all of this, is how do you make it tight? How do you make it, so that you go through all of these different scoring criteria? Did I mention there are 17 of them? Good Lord, 17. Print out the rubric. There's only 3 pages of it, right? 3? There's 3 pages of the rubrics. So just print them out. Good tight paragraph for probably each one. A paragraph. Use citations. Use references. Use a title page. Have your reference page. Okay? Title page. Answer all these narratives. Little bold header from the rubric. Give me a paragraph. Next paragraph. Next paragraph. Include in-text citations. Look at Purdue OWL. Look at the Writing Center that SNU offers. Look at these resources that are available to you. Okay? And then just wrap it up. I don't have any examples of these, so I can't help you with any examples. This is the first time that I've taught this class online. So again, just go in, print out the rubric, have it available to you, and use it as your guide for this work. It looks like a lot, but when you think about each thing as a paragraph, you fit about 4 paragraphs on a page. 4 to 5 pages, you're talking about 16 to 18, 19 paragraphs. Well, that makes sense, right? You have 17 scoring rubrics, 1 paragraph per rubric. Include those in-text citations. Just offer enough of them to support your thought, to support your own theory or hypotheses with some of the material from your text or from outside sources. So that is about that. I have already gone up to 15 minutes, but we're nearing the end. So I think it's kind of important that we really talk about all this stuff. And there's a lot of stuff. So with that in mind, that is essentially all that I have. So things I want to say thank you for. The threaded discussions, really good. I've already started to grade some of those. As soon as I see that you have posted and that you have responded to 2 peers, that's what's important. Now, I go in and I look at the feedback that you offer each and every one of your peers. That is important to me and it's important to them. So I score you accordingly with that. If you give them a couple of sentences, I'm going to give you a couple of sentence score. If you give them some really good, rich, and meaningful feedback, I'm going to give you a wicked good score. You're going to knock it right out of the park. So as soon as I get them in, that's why some of you are like, all right, this isn't even due until midnight tonight. As soon as you meet the minimum qualifications, I'm going to grade you because I am going to have a ton of work to grade tomorrow morning. And I want to get that out. My goal is to always have all the feedback done before Tuesday. So that's my goal. We'll see if that happens this week. So again, important factors. If you have a question, call me, text me, email me, whatever it is, reach out to me and I will help you in whatever way I can. I don't get paid any more for keeping you confused. I feel better when I know that you have clarity. And I know what it's like sitting in classes and being stressed out because I really don't have all the answers, but I'm too embarrassed to raise my hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, not literally, because I'm not going to be able to see it, right? Can't see you raising your hand, but let me know that you have a question. Let me know that you have some stress. Let me know that something's going on. And I will do everything in my power to make it as easy as possible for you to do well. Because remember, I work for you. This is education, not schooling. So I have already gone way longer. I apologize for any of you that actually watch this, but I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the work that you've been doing. We're coming to the home stretch now. Let's finish strong, and I will talk to all of you next week. Bye-bye. Doc Frost signing off.